Hey guys, it's Hannah. If you have watched my May TBR, I am wearing the same clothes. I am filming these back to back. I just wanted to do them as two separate videos. But this is a challenge of mine that I've decided to do, which is reading all the Shadowhunter books. I'm doing it in a different order to maybe what people expect them to be read in. I'm reading them all in chronological order according to the timeline of the books. So that is including all the novellas. So Bane Chronicles, Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, Ghost of the Shadow Market, all of them books are going to be included, and all the separate novellas count as one book in this challenge. So in total, I'm doing 54 books. Oh, and I'm also including the history, the Shadowhunter Codex, and the History of the Downworld. Them books, because I haven't actually read them and I'm quite interested to read them. So yeah, all of Cassandra Clare's books, hopefully in 1 month. So yeah, let's get on and I will tell you my order. Okay, so the first novella type book that I'm reading is from Bane Chronicles, but that is going to be What Happened in Peru, which is set in 1791. It goes until 1962, but it starts in 1791, so that's how I'm classing it. So that is the first novella I'm reading. Then again in 1791, The Runaway Queen is set, which is in Bane Chronicles. And then the third novella that I'm reading is set in 1857, which is Vampires, Scones and Edmund Herondale. So yes, them three are going to be the first ones that I'm reading, and then after that I am going to be starting and reading the entire Infernal Devices series. So we've got Clockwork Angel, which is set in 1878, Clockwork Prince, which is also set in 1878, and Clockwork Princess, which again is 1878. So that should be great because I have read these before. It was actually the first series and the only complete series of her Cassandra Clare's work that I have read, and I'm obsessed with them. Yes, I ship Will. Tessa and Will are my favourite, but then I do like that she does kind of get with Jem at the end. It's nice. But yeah, I really want to read these again and maybe see if my opinions change, or just get back in love with them, because Tessa is just, oh, I love her, badass. And then after I read the Infernal Devices, there is obviously the little bit at the end, which is After the Bridge, which I am kind of classing all separately. I know it is going to get really confusing, but so I'll make sure I do read them all the little kind of short stories as well. So that is going to be read. And then the next novella that I'm reading is from Shadowhunter Academy, which is The Whitechapel Fiend. It starts, I believe, it has two times like that it's set in. It's set in 1888 and 2008. So I'm guessing, I haven't read them, I'm guessing it includes Simon because obviously it's Shadowhunter Academy, but I am going to be reading it set in 1888. So that is how I'm going to be working these books out. Then next there is Nothing But Shadows, which again is another Shadowhunter Academy one, which is set in 1899. But should also be in 2008 as well. Then we're moving on to Ghost of the Shadow Market. This is very confusing, so if you're still watching at the minute, well done. If you get to the end, I applaud. Ghost of the Shadow Market, the first book I'm reading is Cast Long Shadows, which is set in 1901. And then we have Every Exquisite Thing, which is set in, again, 1901. And before going back to the Bane Chronicles, I made life difficult for myself. And reading The Midnight Air, which is set in 1903. Now 1903, this is where Chains of Gold should be. So I'm kind of it is on the timeline. In case anyone is wondering, I found this timeline online and I'm linking the website below so you can check it out. I'll probably mention it again at the end of the video, but yes. So with Chains of Gold, obviously it's not out, but I am putting this in because it's where it should be in the timeline, and I will be reading it when it comes out, which I'm very excited for. And then back to the Bane Chronicles for The Rise of Hotel de Mort, set in 1929, so we're getting into the 20s. Back to the Shadow Market for Learn About Loss, set in 1936. And then A Deeper Love, which is set in 1940. Bane Chronicles again. Very confusing. I think we are now on this is book 17 of 54. So yes, so this one is set in 1953 and it is Saving Rafael Santiago, which I really cannot wait to read because I loved Rafael. I haven't read the actual Mortal Instruments books, which I will get to, but I love the TV series and I love him in that, so I really want to read about him, and I hope that he's probably not going to be exactly the same as the TV series, but I hope that he kind of is because I love him. Next we have The Fall of Hotel de Mort, which is set in 1977, and then in the Shadowhunter Academy we go to The Evil We Love, which is set in 1984, but it's also set in 2009. Really confusing books. Bane Chronicles again, which is the last stand on the New York Institute, which is set in 1989. I don't really know much about these novellas, by the way, just so you know, but I'm guessing this one, or I'm hoping, it might be maybe to do with Valentine or something. I don't really know, but I'd really like maybe if there's a bit about him in here, but I don't know because this is one where it's about like Magnus, so I don't know. It might be to do with the Accords and all that problems. I don't know. I'm looking forward to reading and finding out what they're all about. To the Ghost of Shadowhunter market, the next book is The Wicked Ones, which is set in 1989. And then after that is Son of the Dawn, which is set in 2000. And then finally we can start, only start mind you. So for the Mortal Instruments, obviously City of Bones. The City of Bones is set in 2007. Then we do go back to the Bane Chronicles for The Course of True Love and First Dates, which is obviously going to be a Malek story, which is set in 2007. And then after the First Dates we have What to Buy the Shadowhunter Who Has Everything and Who You're Not Officially Dating Anyway, which again is set in 2007. After that is then back to Mortal Instruments. I get confused, it's fine. For City of Ashes, 2007, and then City of Glass, which is again 2007. After City of Glass, there is a little short story, which is Jocelyn's story, which I've managed to find on my Kindle, which I am going to be reading. Is going to be set in 2007 as well. And then another one, which is a different series, but again set in 2007, is Red Scrolls of Magic. So the first book in the Outer Curse series. I have already read this book. I read it last month, but I'm going to be rereading it within this little big challenge even, should I say. So yes, this book is amazing. If you have not read it, read it. And then back to Mortal Instruments for City of Fallen Angels, which is again 2007. They had a long year in 2007 doing all this. City of Lost Souls, 2007. And then to the Bane Chronicles, where we have the voicemail of Magnus Bane, which is set in 2007. I'm really intrigued as to what this could be, but we'll find out. And then finally, City of Heavenly Fire in 2007, but it's in December 2007, so it's a whole year. This series takes place over a whole year, which I've only just realised, which I think is mad because so much happens. Like, I haven't read them, but I know kind of what happens, and it's mad. Okay, so after City of Heavenly Fire, I'm then going to be reading the Shadowhunter Codex and the Shadowhunter and Downworlders, just because I feel like this is a good place to read them. They aren't on the timeline that I mentioned before, which is linked down below, but I just feel like that's kind of a good place to read them before going on to the Shadowhunter Academy. And after that, we get to see more of Simon. So it is then moving on to book 1 in the Shadowhunter Academy series, book, novellas, whatever you want to call them, which is Welcome to the Shadowhunter Academy, which is set in 2008. We then have The Lost Herondale, which is set in 2008. And then Pale Kings and Princes, which is set in 2009. Bitter of Tongue, which is 2009 again. Fiery Trial, 2009. Born to Endless Night, which is in 2010. Angels Twice Descending in 2010. And then on to Ghost of the Shadow Market again for The Land I Lost, which is set in 2012. Through Blood and Fire, which is 2012. And then, finally, The Dark Artifices trilogy is finally going to be on there. This is book like... what book is this? This is book 48. We finally get to Lady Midnight on book 48. So yeah, it's Lady Midnight, which is set in 2012. After Lady Midnight, there is a short story which was published with Kyra and Jason, which is called A Long Conversation, which is set in 2012. We then have Lord of Shadows, which is set in 2012. I've read these two books. I have not read Queen of Air and Darkness yet, which is the next book, which again is set in 2012. I cannot wait for this book. I got it as soon as it came out, but I wanted to reread the other two first, and then I just kind of never did. And then I was like, well, I'm going to reread them. I want to read Mortal Instruments. And then I was like, well, why don't I just read all of them? And then I did this whole list, and it's like, what have I got myself into? And then the final two books are being released in June, or the final two novellas, should I say, are being released in June, when the actual physical Ghost of Shadow Market book is released. There is 2 extra novellas in there, which are The Lost World, set in 2013, and Forever Fallen, set in 2013. And I will be reading them when it comes out in June, which I am going to try and include in this challenge. I feel like this probably will go until June, maybe. See how long, I don't know. We can try. And then finally, after finishing off the 2 new novellas from Ghost of the Shadow Market, I am going to be reading A History of Noble Shadowhunters and Denizen of Downworld. Am I saying that right? I don't know. It's like the book that compiles different people in and kind of has all the characters and tells you about them. So I thought I'd wait to the very end till I've read about everyone, and then I can read that at the end. So that is my 54 book challenge. Oh god. Why do Cassandra Clare's books have to be so good? Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'm getting myself in for. I'm going to be vlogging this whole experience, probably week by week, just to keep updated with my progress and so you guys can see how I'm getting on. And I will let you know how this goes, because I feel like it's not going to go well, but you know, positivity and all that. Thank you guys for watching, and if you are as crazy as I am, then please take part and have a go and see, or read them in whatever order you want. You know, I've just never read them all and I feel like I need to, and yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go now and start reading somewhere in a corner and cry. But I will see you guys later, and see you next time. Bye.